Yes. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about something else. See, in the developed world, okay, agriculture, okay, maybe
I'm coming. Okay, I'm listening.
Farmers about 2% of the population. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge drop off in 100 years. Before before nearly 100% were farmers. Now only about 2%. So, and the reason for that is because agriculture has been mechanized.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long do you think it will take us to mechanize agriculture to the extent that majority of us will not be whole and class farmers? And it will not leave a large proportion of the population to engage in other things.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Talking about mechanization, there's a history behind it. Yes. To be honest, let me first of all answer the question straight on, then I give you the background behind it.
Okay.
If we continue this way, what do I mean by this way? What I mean by this way is if government still pays lip service, as it were, to agriculture, and they have stylishly taken their face away from the real important things. It's not even a question of when are we going to meet up to 2% farmers. Are we really going to meet up to it?
No, in fact, I don't think we need to meet 2%, but at least maybe
I understand
5-10%.
I understand.
Farmers, yeah.
When agriculture was the mainstay of the economy, especially speaking from Nigeria's perspective, about 60 years ago, tractorization, which is a major part of mechanization. Tractorization simply means the use of tractors, to cultivate land and do all the farming operations. At the time, when agriculture was booming in Nigeria, at the time it was about 2 tractors per 1,000 hectares.
Okay.
And today, we are barely trying to meet up to 1.3 tractors.
Oh, so we have gone back. We have gone backwards.
You got it. to 1,000 hectares. And African agriculture and farming is the worst when it comes to mechanization and tractorization, to be precise, because somehow for Nigeria and for many other countries in the sub-Saharan Africa, they over the years discover other revenues, and then instead of them to complement whatever they have with the agriculture being that they've developed over time, they simply left agriculture. And for others, they were not just so serious, over the years. Whereas Asia, who had similar experiences at that time, now they are about 10, tractors per 1,000 hectares.
Exactly.
Mechanization in Asia has really gone so high. I mean, has moved beyond what even the landmarks, the indices for mechanization development are all about. Yeah. But Africa is a marvel, from the negative point of view, especially when we even have some of these interactions in conferences and some thought leadership sessions. Yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible. And the truth is, we still have smallholder farmers who are feeding the entire continent. The entire continent are being fed by smallholder farmers, about 80% of. So what that means is that as far as food is concerned in Africa, production is concerned in Africa, there are still smallholders that is feeding the continent. And that's a big problem. It's a big problem because, okay, I'm listening. You want to say something?
I want to say that's basically why we import the majority of our food, because as our population increases, we should be increasing the production of our agriculture.
Yeah, so we are reducing,
yeah,
and so that gap is being filled by
importation.
And it's not just about small holding. The problems are just multifaceted. These are the basic ones. Small holding farmers are in charge of producing food. Then the yield, productivity per hectare is extremely low.
Yeah.
So apart from the fact that it is small holding, the yield, for example, maize in some parts of the world is about 4 tons, 3.5 tons that they get in 1 hectare. Here in Nigeria and some other African countries, it's less than 1.2, 1.3 tons in hectare. You see, on the same area cultivated around the world. So we have a situation in our hands where, apart from small holding, the yield is poor. Then the farming community, the demographics of farming community is shrinking. You see, the older generations who are into this, subsistence farming are dying, and some are literally losing interest in farming. And then the young ones and the youth ones.
Like I told you, my uncles are great farmers. Their children are not interested.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But because of, like I said, rural urban migration, development and all that, and there's no problem with that. But because also that the other challenges, that add up to low productivity, has made the African continent a recipient of poor production.
Tell me.
Being fed, okay, I'm listening.
How much do we use fertilizer?
Yeah, well, it depends. It varies country by country. Specifics, that regulations and their specific applications of fertilizer, per hectare, So, but beyond that, it's not even about using the fertilizers.
Okay.
It's about appropriately using them. 1.
Okay.
2, then having access. Some of the real farmers, do not have access to fertilizers, and some cannot afford it. And so the subsidy,
and that's why the yield is very low.
Yes. But beyond the fertilizer, there are also many modern farming practices that are not being utilized, and so they all add up to the low productivity. I also work with an NGO, a social enterprise to be precise, who also goes into training farmers, helping them with their farming operations, and then trying to help with the business of farming. Increase yield, understand the marketing, sales, and also explain to them the modern practices and how it should be done, so that they can actually get a higher yield, higher productivity, and then they can get more returns on their investment. So it all adds up, and these are the reasons why we have not moved beyond the small holding in Africa. But I must say this, as far as I know, in Nigeria, there are many strides, many interventions that are being utilized. Yes, more of it from the private sector and collaboration with the public sector. And I believe that I can speak of Nigeria, that things will get better in the next, in 3, 4, 5 years. I think
that's good to know.
Yes, the landscape and ecosystem will change.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.